All right, so this past weekend, springtime sort of briefly exploded into summer. It got really hot, and I thought I got to step up the refreshment level on my rosé drinking, and that made me think of Txakoli Rose. So I've got the Bodegas Rezabal Txakoli Rose. So Txakoli or Txakolina, if you want to add some extra consonants and vowels to a very complicated word already. Txakoli is the wine of the Basque region of Spain. It really only goes back to like 1960 that they've been making this style of wine, but right now, if you're up there, this is it. Like, this is what they are drinking. The rosé, however, is mostly just made for Americans. They don't sell much of that in Spain, but I think it's a really fun style. Bodegas Rezabal is a third-generation estate. They got beautiful coastal vineyards, which most people do out there. And for this wine, they're blending the two indigenous Txakoli varietals. Join me now while I butcher the pronunciation of them. So this is going to be 80% Andrabi Belza, which is the red Txakoli grape, and then 20% Andrabi Zuri. I'm sure I said that wrong, but that's all right. My heart is in the right place. And the style of wines for Txakoli, super dry, a little bit of effervescence to them, and that's actually a natural effervescence. This is these wines are very finely crafted. They're harvested grapes, and as soon as they crush them, they want to drop the temperature down basically right to freezing. They're going to seal them off as best as they can into stainless steel tanks so they can preserve that little bit of CO2 that just is a byproduct of fermentation, and then keeping the wine super cold even as it gets up to the point of bottling. All right, so let's take a look in the glass here. If we were in Basque Country, they actually serve these wines out of like a flat bottom, like a tumbler sort of style glass. In my house, however, we only drink out of wine glasses, so I don't have a regular flat glass to pour this into, so this will have to be good enough. All right. There's this really fun aromatic to it, which, in certain wines can be a turn off to me because there's this slightly underripe character to it. Where it comes across, though, in this wine is think of like tomato stems or geraniums, that sort of like spicy green sort of aroma. To me, these wines are really about spring, summertime. It's like it is the smell of walking through your garden on a hot day. And there's a bit of minerality here too. That's sort of the classic thing about chocolate. You're on a very coastal region, and these wines pick up that sort of salinity. You smell it on the nose, get on the palate too. Let's go there. Yeah, super dry, and that sort of stemmy note, it fades really quickly into. It's actually very bright fruit. I get like a fresh strawberry note, not like a ripe strawberry, but think like the first strawberry off the vine in the beginning of the season. So like again, this wine is it's all about springtime and freshness, and that effervescence it's really subtle. It's really soft. You can kind of see it swirling around in there a little bit of frothiness. And again, it kind of, to me, it sort of heightens that coastal experience. You get that little bit of saltiness on the palate. You get this almost like sea foam frothiness kind of mouthfeel to it. So the fact that this wine is super dry, the fact that it has a ton of acidity, that it has a little bit of effervescence to it, means it's an incredibly versatile food wine. And like I said, in the Basque region, this is their go-to wine. So you're in a Basque restaurant, they're going to serve this with basically any sort of food. And it's actually really fun to play around with that. So trying a wine like this, super dry wine like this with like a piece of red meat, a nice steak, I think it goes great with Mexican food. So really versatile food wine. Again, you serve it in that regular juice glass or whatever, and it's just also very crushable and friendly, as long as you like your wines on the dry side, because it is totally that. So that is Bodegas Rezabal, the Basque region of Spain, their Txakoli Rose. All right, check it out. This one's really fun. Cheers.